This is the worst rebrand. Supposed to white birdie.
Rebrands. Sometimes you need a fresh start. You gotta change shit up, find new opportunities for yourself, and as people who create something, you just gotta pivot. Now, sometimes rebrands can go perfectly. The audience will like it, everything will be going well, but other times, it just backfires. Okay. And I feel like
before he does start, I have to pause it. I'm a reactor, but my thing is, who I will give tens to, who I feel like rebranded and tens, just tens. I gotta give him his tens. Speed. I show Speed when he was first blowing up, and I would see clips of him. Some of them were cool, but I remember a lot of controversies. He was tripping. I'm gonna be honest with you. He was tripping. It was like some of the things he was saying. It was like, okay, I know that's your character, but he was taking it too far. Something pivoted along the line and he rebranded himself, whether it rebranded or just grew up a little bit, because I think we're the same age, so you know we don't act the same how we did a few years ago. But I gotta give him his sense, because I really, now when I see clips of him, I'm like, okay, he be doing his shit. So yeah, now play the video.
With
now
rebranding, you kind of just have to slowly change whatever it is you're making until you kind of reach that point. I feel like a lot of times when people make sudden changes, that's normally when it doesn't really go well. I figured we'd start with a recent example. Kai Cenat. Kai Cenat has been a huge target look like a black emoji dress. Done streaming. He did a subathon, I think like 6 months ago, and then he just dipped. In early 2026, he dropped a video. Hold on. Watching the video.
Kai, I got a question, Kai. I got a question. What the hell happened to Streamer University #2? Like, what happened to chapter 2 of that? Because I could have sworn it was in talks. I thought, maybe I'm tripping because I only ever see clips, but I thought it was confirmed that, like, Streamer University was gonna come back, but then he quit. So it was like, was that just scrap? Like, you just said, fuck it? Because honestly, you don't have to be... I don't know, man. Maybe I'm tripping, but I just could have sworn I was in rap, so it's kind of crazy. But I really don't care too much, so it's fine.
A lot of people said that it just looked like he was trying too hard to be in a documentary. There's no reason to be recording a video on a 3DS in 2026. And I do really like the idea of Kai improving himself.
People want to be aesthetically pleasing.
It's not that for no reason.
Not a crime.
But I feel like he's just putting on a performance while doing it. So in the video he made saying he quit, he made a channel called Kai's Mind. And in a lot of these videos, he is reading to improve his speaking skills, which is great. But then he'll do so.
Atomic Habits has to be the most, like, when you think of books people have recommended you to read, Atomic Habits is one of them ones where it's like, I don't know, maybe they got the key to life in there or something. Maybe I'm missing it. But it was somebody... And I might end up reading it too. And I hope I don't turn it into like one of the soldiers for it. Maybe at the end of the book, they like say, yeah, you should recommend this to people for your life to be better. Maybe they do some type of subliminal messaging. But regardless, I got recommended it like, it was like 2 years ago now by this dude who I really respected. So I'm like, hey, shit, I believe you. Like, he was like, yeah. We had a lot in common. He was like, yeah, you know, I really like this book. It did a lot for me. It put me onto some mindset, whatever. And I was like, okay, I'll look into the book. I never looked into the book, but I promised him it would take me a while, but I eventually would. So it's like, I don't know. I gotta see what Atomic Habits is about, because when it comes to people rebranding themselves or going into like a next chapter in their life where they're going to be a better version of themselves, they always say Atomic Habits. What the hell is in that book? You know, I need to know.
The video where he like shows the timer and then he'll like speed read. We see the timer. You're good, bro. We believe you. And I think in late 2024, early 2025, around that time, Kai Cenat was accused of having an emotional stylist, which I feel like he has been on that performative wave already. Like, one clip I could definitely give an example of. He was asked what song would describe your outfit, and this is what he said.
So if you could describe your outfit with a song, what would it be? Viva La Vida by Cosplay. Okay, I'm not even gonna lie.
Sorry, wait.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
He's a song. You know what that is. I never saw the clip of him correct himself. I think they cut the video for that part anytime I seen it. But oh my gosh, God. Listen, slip of the tongue. You know what I mean? But that also just means maybe this wasn't his favorite song for a long time. Maybe he just started listening to it. I'm trying to think of a reason.
This is what he said.
So if you could describe your outfit with a song, what would it be? Viva La Vida by Cosplay. Okay, I'm not even gonna lie. You know who that is? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Coldplay. Oh, Coldplay. Yeah.
He really said cosplay. God, bro, we can't be serious right
now. You know?
Like, I feel like he just has to let it go and just accept the fact that he's not niche. And of course, the biggest part of Kai's rebrand is his clothing brand called Vivette. I think the idea of him not really streaming much anymore and just focusing on the brand, like, I think that's all cool, right? It's his decision at the end of the day. If I was him, I definitely wouldn't quit streaming, at least for a long while. But it seems like, again, he's just trying to clip farm for some kind of documentary he wants to be in. In which, I mean, I don't really care about it that much, but I just think the memes about it are funny. Next,
I was willing to think, who the fuck is Kwebbelkop? Anywho's, I was thinking maybe that's what he wanted to do from the start, and now that he has enough money, that's what he wanted to pivot to. It's possible to have gotten inspired along the way too, but people show pictures of his old outfits, and apparently Kai could not dress. He could never dress. Niggas from New York, so like, you know what I mean? Chill, please. But, cause I'm not trying to like say niggas from New York can't dress. That's what I'm saying. But it was like, it's kind of, his style was basic for like just a New Yorker. Like, it's nothing crazy. Like, that's just your style. But it was never fashion, nigga. So, you know, maybe he got inspired. But it was a random rebrand. I would have never expected
Kai's
it.
rebrand, when it comes to Kwebbelkops, it doesn't even compare. Like, Kai's rebrand was way better than this. Back in 2023, Kwebbelkop decided that he was done, and he was going full AI. At this point, bro, just retire. Like, why are you even going full AI? That just defeats the whole purpose of creating content. You are the creative person behind it. You are the creative mind.
Was AI even that advanced back then?
Just said, you know what? I'm going to automate shitty-ass Instagram Reels where my character just says, whoa, whoa, every single time. Or actually, I just checked his TikTok page currently, and now he's just making these weird-ass AI videos where he's getting chased by a lion or he's driving a sports car out of a military jet or something.
Hold on, let me see some. Go back.
He's just making these weird-ass AI videos where he's getting chased by a lion.
I'm trying to see the views.
He's just making these every single time.
I'm seeing numbers.
Actually, I just checked his TikTok.
Yeah, so there are nothing but bots on the internet, and I feared that they would eat this up regardless, and I feared that he would get away with this. This is sick.
TikTok page, Ryan, or he's driving a sports car out of a military jet or something. And at this point, people are just telling him to pack this shit up, and I agree, man. You gotta just pack it up. AI generating the entire page is crazy. But
so
I guess Kwebbelkop came back onto YouTube after all these years. He's made videos with Jelly and a few other people, but the AI shit just cooked his reputation.
Yeah.
A lot of people just decided not to watch him anymore because of that.
Or
maybe people forgot about him. I'm not really sure. But either way, that AI shit had to be one of the worst creator brand decisions I've ever seen. And just to show you what some of these videos felt like watching,
the future of AI was so promising. He put his all into it.
Bumbling through brush, my botanical escapade continues. Snagged on leaves, but hey, more crafting supply.
Bro, what the fuck is you even talking about?
Like, bro? I'm trying to process.
This shit is so buns. There's no way I'm firing up a video where his AI-ass character is like bumbling through brush.
Not even coherent. There's not even.
Continues. Like, what the does that shit even mean? But anyways, next we have JoJo Siwa. I know this example is kind of dated, but whatever. So this happened a couple years ago now, and JoJo Siwa was this kids TV show star. She would be in like kids bop songs and shit like that in like the 2010s, and I think that's what let me let him talk before I get in my rant. Hold on, eventually I think she just started making her own music, and her top song has 1 billion views. That's gotta be enough to retire your whole family. Damn. And obviously, as you grow up, you got to change how you make your content and whatnot.
Of course,
so she decided that she had to pivot in a different direction. But this shit was not it. She dropped this song called Karma, where she was wearing this and a couple other music videos she made for the project. She was doing weird ass.
Okay, so with her specifically, I feel like it was like the equivalent of what Miley Cyrus did, where it was like, you're in this box of kid content, you know, and you want to get out of it because that's all the people are associating you with. everything that you do has to be kid-friendly, kid-friendly, kid-friendly because you started off as a kid and you started off as kid-friendly. So it's like, I understand wanting to get out of that box, so you're acting out so that people have no choice but to accept it. Because if it's a smooth thing, it might not go as well. You know, you might lose some shit. So you got to do a big whatever and get everybody's attention and da-da-da. But Miley Cyrus, the difference is Miley Cyrus, when she was doing that and she was dropping the music, the songs were still kind of like, you know what I mean? What's that one song? The Jays, the the song about Jays, bro. I forgot the damn title. That holds up. Like, that shit's kind of hard. You know what I mean? She dipped into a bag that wasn't her bag at all just to get out of a box that she didn't want to be in. But, you know, the song was still like, okay, you know what I mean? This shit was some shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. And outside of that, hers was Miley Cyrus, when she was rebranding herself to be more like, oh, I'm an adult, like I do all this crazy shit. She had more of like a fuck it. She looks like she's trying to have a fuck it mentality. You know what I mean? Like, you could tell it's a trying thing. And I think that's somewhere along the line is when you lost it. Like, you lost it for a lot of people. If I could press, you know, anything on the screen.
Emotes. And obviously, since this shit was a complete 180, everybody was just like, what the f happened? Everybody was cooking her in the comments. People are even still, to this day, frying her for the rebrand. Another one of her songs she made was called Guilty Pleasure. And, you know, the music video starts off with JoJo Siwa's Pleasure House.
Nuke the whole generation.
Yeah, bro, I'm done. I'm not watching this. Watching that's not even worth it for the bills. I can't even lie. Speaking of the bills, go to usecheeky.com and use code Birdie. Get yourself the very new
Get your bag, get your money, get your money, get your money out. Get your money out.
Visuals. And I feel like this project did not warrant a tour, but apparently she did a tour for it. And during one of her shows on tour, she started crashing out at somebody for booing her. Then she yelled at them, you know what? Fuck you! And she thought everybody in the crowd was gonna be wowed. They were gonna think that was really tough. And I think a year after her karma era, like, whatever it's called, she just realized that she was being performative. And she regretted this whole karma rebrand thing. It seems like she goes through like a new phase every single year at this point, because I guess she's doing a new one this year. She's trying to find herself. I don't know anymore, man. But moving on.
That's the thing with being a celebrity. Oh my gosh, what? Wait, Mark Zuckerberg. Hold on. But that's the thing with being a celebrity, is that when you're trying to find yourself, there's a million people that are still trying to find themselves. You know, I'm probably still trying to find myself, but you are doing it in the face of everybody. So everybody can see it. So it's like, you know what I mean? When you do rebrand yourself and evolve, it's like, bitch, this was you like a year ago, and we remember. You're not slick.
Mark Zuckerberg. If anybody were to look at Mark Zuckerberg back in like 2020, let's just say, everybody would have been like, that dude does not look human. Everybody had a conspiracy going that this dude was genuinely a lizard. I still believe it. But at the beginning of 2025, Mark Zuckerberg completely changed his look. And I guess it's
I've publicly express my dislike for Mark. Let me not call him that, because we're not cool. But I've publicly discussed and expressed my dislike for Mark Zuckerberg enough times that I feel like he ain't letting me go nowhere on his platform. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, if I get a verified anything on Instagram, I had to pay for it, or in some way, shape, or form, if not money, honey, because there's no way he's not gonna look at the logs and be like, this bitch is, no, fuck no. She's ineligible, completely and utterly. Like, what? I've just
trying to get more into fashion. He was making these meta glasses, so he said it made sense for him to change up his whole appearance.
But I'm still using your app though, so it's like I can talk shit.
Crisis, or he was just like, you know what, man, I'm sick of people. What the hell was that? I'm sick of people calling me a lizard. I think it's time for me to up my fashion game. I mean, I guess that makes sense. If he's selling glasses, he might as well. Zuck, I think we got some work to do with the t-shirts. I don't know what this shirt says. It says AUT Zuck something. We gotta go back to the drawing board,
his language.
I'm rocking Vivette
from his home planet.
Not only do people reshape their image, but so do companies. Now, a lot of these rebranded logos that companies have been making for the past few years, they've been an ass. I can't even
Who the
lie.
fuck
like,
even uses
example,
Internet Explorer?
Like,
be honest.
What happened to this dude? Most of these brands were going for oversimplified logos, and they were just making them overly corporate. Like, where the did his hair go? And they just took all the detail out of his mustache. And not only that,
why does everything have to be
text.
simplified? What does that do for anybody?
It doesn't pop anymore. It just sucks. How is that even going to draw anybody's attention?
What's the reason?
Walmart. You might be asking yourself, what change? I don't see any change. Yeah, I don't either. They spent $1 million on this shit. They must have just did a little work in Photoshop, you know, turn up the saturation a little bit, the contrast, and that was it. To be honest with you, man, I don't even think I should be calling this a rebrand, but I'm putting it in the video anyway, because they spent $1 million on this shit. And they got clowned so badly the moment this shit dropped. Everybody thought they were trolling because this shit just was comedic.
No.
They're just burning money.
Remember when IHOP was trying to pretend like they was going to start making burgers?
It was a good idea to change Walmart's logo, but listen, man.
Only,
whoever it was, you better pack your shit.
I think they do.
You're definitely getting fired. Now, arguably one of the worst rebrands of all time.
Let me hear what you about to say.
Twitter to X.
Okay, yeah.
Why
honestly.
X?
But no, now that I just brought that up, that was a stupid, like, do we believe the lie? let me rephrase that before you're biased. But do we believe that the IHOP thing was really just promotion for the fact that they make burgers now? Like, I think that was like lazy, and it was really just a reaction to the backlash, which is something that they did with like Sonic and stuff when he was ugly, and they made like everybody, the people complain so much. I didn't personally complain, but y'all complained enough for all of us that he didn't look right, so they remade him. So everybody was complaining about the IHOP shit that was like, oh my gosh, like what the fuck, da-da-da. So they fixed it. They fixed it back to the original. It's like, oh, gotcha. That was actually just to get your attention because we're about to start making burgers. You could have just put that in a commercial. I don't know. I don't believe they got that.
I don't understand.
They thought that far ahead.
In July of 2023, this dude, Elon Musk, bought Twitter
and
changed it to X. I don't know why Elon thought people were going to start calling it X, but that shit's not going to happen. To most people, it's just still called Twitter. And after the name change, nothing has really changed in the layout. He just changed a bunch of policies for content on there. And let's just say, do not open that shit in public.
No, literally.
Actually, you know what? Matter of fact, do not open that shit at all. You could be having the greatest day of your life, and the moment you open Twitter and just see some up shit, yeah, it's ruined. But next we have Firefox, and fuck it, man, we'll throw in Microsoft Edge too, because these two companies went down pretty similar paths with their logo redesign. But I don't know what these new logos are, man, but they suck. They're terrible. I get the Frutiger Arrow shit's dead. Like, we gotta move on from that, and they gotta change up their logo a little bit. Firefox, they once again just took all the detail out of the box. The globe
like, they could have stuck with that third one.
And then Microsoft Edge, they just got rid of the E altogether. They just took everything that was cool about the logo.
Who is presenting these in these meetings?
I'm not heated about these logo changes or anything. I've gotten used to it, but every time I look at the Microsoft Edge
and the whole team that
I would be lying to myself if I said it was a good logo. And the most recent one that happened was with Cracker Barrel. Now with Cracker Barrel, they changed more than just the logo. They changed the entire layout.
Wow.
First of all, they got rid of the iconic man leaning on the barrel, but they made the inside of it look like a coffee shop.
Wow.
And to nobody's surprise,
I've never been in a Cracker Barrel.
Of backlash on this rebrand. So they ended up going back to the old logo. But to be honest with you, man, that was probably the best move for them to make. Everybody on TikTok is absolutely shitting on your logo and your whole redesign. So there's no way you're going to have a lot of returning customers after that. But they also do a lot of marketing on TikTok. And during this whole ordeal, they were getting cooked in the comments. And I talk about it in this video right here about companies trying to be trendy. Just click on it.
Is this real? Oh, that was smooth. I'm gonna be honest, that was smooth. Okay. I gotta steal that. That was smooth as hell. That was the video.